I have a song to accompany the beanbug this time. Okay, looks like we're live now. Hello everybody, welcome to stream. It's Horizon Zero Dawn day again. And got Arrow as usual.
Yeah, it's me, as usual. It's not alternate me.
We also have the beanbug with us.
Oh. Never mind, now you have Malicious Arrow. I don't actually hate that.
I was just reminded, I watched a video last night, a VTuber, and she doesn't know a lot of English, and she was reading some English dialogue, and it said, "her of all people," and she thought that meant that, well, it was talking about someone's girlfriend, and she then interpreted that to mean that she was the girlfriend of everyone, because it was her of all people.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
And I think in like Japanese, oftentimes if you describe something like as of something,
yeah,
you use
that's
the
what
same
she
pronoun
did.
that's possessive.
Yeah,
so
there was captions. There was captions on it, and she was like, "It says of there, right?" So that means that.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what she was referring to.
Because if I said like arrow no then something, then that'd be my something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I was.
That's pretty funny.
I was quite tickled by that interpretation of the sentence.
That is quite good.
A very Japanese-centric way to read that sentence. Anyway.
If my connection drops out at all, it's probably because I've also been uploading a VOD, so
Oh, okay.
it's not quite finished. But yeah.
Okay, let me capture audio only so that I can adjust the volume. Oh yeah, as you can see, I've been playing Balan Wonderworld now.
Oh yeah, I heard that was bland.
Yep. My
That's
YouTube
the invalid
upload.
username told me at least.
My YouTube upload of it has been disliked. It doesn't have any likes. It has one dislike.
It was probably Yuji Naka.
I was pretty nice to the game though. I didn't like completely hate it.
Mm.
I mean, so far we'll see.
What's the game that you have that has like looks like a heart? It doesn't have its name on it.
This one?
No, it's at the end.
Thumper? The red one?
Oh, it's probably
like
Thumper,
a bug.
yeah.
It was one of the free ones.
Oh, yeah.
All the free ones were Ratchet and Clank, Abzu, Enter the Gungeon, Rez, Infinite, The Witness, Thumper.
I have all those installed. I don't know if I installed
Horizon,
Thumper because I just didn't think I was going to play it.
Yeah, I just got all of the ones that weren't only VR.
I grabbed every single one, including the VR ones, and then I just uninstalled the ones so that they're like still on my account that I don't use.
I just know that I'm never going to get PSVR. So
I'm not either, but like at least one of the VR ones sounded really interesting. So like if I ever have the chance.
I have just never been interested.
The little
yep,
window.
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Don't you worry, I'm doing that as we speak.
Oh yeah, we started the DLC area. Do you want to continue there today, or what do you want to do?
Maybe a little bit, at least.
Okay.
We'll start there. I had a couple side quests I was doing. May as well continue those.
Yeah.
Once you've cleared a bandit camp, a merchant and fast travel point will become available. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I saw, you shared that thread, right? About the treasure finding foxes in Skyrim.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And
like the person at the end of that linked a thread about the opening cart ride scene.
I saw that. I didn't read that one yet though.
Yeah, so basically what it was is like the cart would just freak the fuck out and fly into the sky because for whatever reason it was physics enabled, and they couldn't determine why because it wasn't happening every time.
Oh.
And it turned out what happened is a previous bug had prevented like bees from being collectible, and they'd solved
Oh.
that, but then also given the bees collision. But so then, like, when a bee wandered over the path of the fucking cart, it would
No
just
way I'll be able to take
not
a machine
move.
that big down.
Oh.
The cart would. So
Incredible.
that's what happened. Yeah.
I guess we'll start with waterlogged. Go to the lake. That's pretty nearby.
That's good. I like that one. I think if it's the one that I remember it is, then there's something I will have you look at.
Okay. I recently rewatched the Vine Sauce highlights of Skyrim, and it was really incredible.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
There's so many glitches because he was also specifically playing the Switch version,
Oh yeah.
so probably has even more than usual.
Baked in.
No, hello Ash.
Flooded too.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ash.
where's in house? Hell yeah.
Horizon Spiro Scrawn.
Snap moss.
Oh, speaking of Spiro,
Sunlight River.
um,
Follow the river, find its source.
the new
Seems simple enough.
the new trailer for the
Must be the entrance to this.
Pokemon Legends looks pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you were about to start talking about fucking like Spironolactone.
No, Spiro the Pokemon. Follow the river upstream.
Oh, you have to
it was so
defeat the Great
funny.
Evil, Elena. Ash would like it.
Get that going. I should make the Beanbug defeat the Great Evil somehow.
That'd be cool. Or you could make it get eaten by the Great Evil. Because jelly beans are not okay.
Here you go. Asha sent us a bunch of cat pictures. Oh, and
Oh,
a
hell
dog
yeah.
too.
Cat dog. Why are they purple? Oh, they're like limited time. Interesting.
Dang, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, also there's that video that Biss and I watched that one time where it was somebody just complaining incessantly about the Pokemon Legends and thinking it was going to be terrible because of how it looked in the trailer, where like they talk about how the graphics looked bad and the frame rate was terrible and stuff like that.
That's
and then there's
that's the old one, right?
no, this there was a they were talking about the or do you mean like the old trailer for this game?
No, the old themed Pokemon.
No, or what?
Like the one that takes place in the past.
Yeah, they're talking about that game. They were talking about how terrible the trailer looked and that they didn't think the game was going to be good, and they were talking about how the Pokemon just walk around and do nothing on the overworld. And then this trailer just basically went like just undid everything that he complained about. Because the Pokemon don't just sit around and idly walk, they have like various different things that they'll do, and the frame rate in the trailer was like perfect. Like there was no longer like really low frame rate Pokemon walking around or anything. And the graphics, like the lighting and everything has been improved. Like they seem to have like
I think it
they
looks
fixed the
nice.
shaders.
I think I expected too much from it.
Oh,
I expected it to be wholly different from Pokemon. I expected there not to be like
Oh.
the traditional Pokemon on Pokemon fighting.
well they changed
some
how
reason.
they changed the way the battle system works a lot though.
Yeah, I saw that, but like I was like, just hoping that it was going to be like no Pokemon fighting. Because for
Oh,
whatever
well,
reason, I got the impression
they
that it
already
might be,
showed
like-
that in the first trailer.
I think Biss told me
Yeah.
that too, but
yeah,
I don't
that
know
was
where I
always
got this
known.
impression. But I was hoping that it was going to be like more just like on the exploratory, like human first, like trying to like learn about Pokemon and how to like treat them. rather than-
that is a big part of it too.
I guess, but it feels like if you already know how to fight with them, then like what's the difference? I think it's still really good. I think it's really good that it's a mainline game going in a new direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not in the series, I was like kind of hoping it would be something more new.
Like to me, this is like completely radically different.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is what I wanted because it's like they're like
Clear that up
This
later.
is a complete radical change for the series.
I would say it's a difference, but it's not like completely
Like,
out of the woods.
I guess if you weren't super into the way the battles work in the first place, then maybe it feels like less of a big change.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, it's like I wouldn't need them to change the way the battles work in order to significantly change how the game works for me.
That's fair. I also just like it's not a thing I'm into, so I'm less invested
Yeah.
in it, and therefore it takes more to get me like wanting to play,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Like that's just how it be.
Because for me, I have played so many Pokemon games that like they've all started getting very samey to me, especially in recent times. And so,
Yeah.
letting Game Freak go hog wild with things is basically exactly what I wanted.
Well, I just feel like they didn't go wild enough.
From my perspective, this is
But
like way more than
even
they've ever
this,
done before.
like,
So,
this is way more than they've ever done before, and that is really good.
hmm
Still, I think I'm just very demanding for some weird reason, but that's okay.
it was just really funny to me that that one video was complaining about like everything, and then literally everything that they addressed has been changed and improved since the last time we saw it.
That is quite
So.
good.
Everybody's like, we want Pokemon, but it looks like Breath of the Wild, and then this new trailer, like, it kind of does just look like Breath of the Wild. Also, they greatly improved the graphics on the
Looks like something we live
Diamond and Pearl remake as well. They took my advice specifically because I was saying that they should have made it look more like the Link's Awakening remake, where they sort of like made it look very small and like it was made out of toys. They had like a tilt shift effect on it.
Mm.
And there's a tilt
That game
shift
did
effect
look a
on
lot better.
the Diamond and Pearl remake now.
And it did also have like a bunch of new features, which
Mhm.
makes it like a valid version of that game in my eyes now. Like going from like kind of just like really to like okay, I guess you know
Yeah,
if you
well, I
want.
mean,
to
every
play it,
previous
it could be
remake
pretty
has
good.
added features over the original version, and added content.
Yeah.
So that was to be
But
expected.
like you know, like the first impression we got of that was very
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
people on that one again were like, they're not gonna fix these graphics. This is just how it's gonna look. And then, well, nope, they've been working on it
I'm
since
also
then.
like I went like for me it went from being like well this is a Pokemon game that I'd never play over the original because the original actually has like art that I like better
Mhm.
to being more like oh this is a valid version of this game that and I don't really know which one I'd choose to play to be honest, which kind of is frustrating to me with remakes like that, but they're not like bad. It's just you know
Well,
it's just
somebody
like
wants
would I rather play this thing that I
Leave
feel
some
like
tiny
gives me more of like
legends
the
just to
original
get
feel,
the
or would I rather play the thing that has the new and improved features and
Yeah.
extra stuff?
For me, it's the easy choice because I like to collect
played it.
games. I like to collect games physically, and
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
the original version of the game is now extremely expensive, like $100 or more
Yeah.
expensive. So this is the more cost-effective version now.
Yeah, I get liking to collect games too. Like when it's a series that you like, it's way nice.
Ash, Pokemon people make Pokemon look more like Zelda. Also, Pokemon people, this is way too different. Are there people complaining about Pokemon Legends?
Looks like a control center.
I only looked through the YouTube comments on it, and everybody seemed pretty positive.
I don't know. It seems like a pretty positive thing overall.
Yeah, I saw people enjoying the fact that Pokemon can attack you and kill you. Like there's like death.
Well,
Maybe I should try scanning
I
the
guess
you
maybe
don't
it says that
dial
you
in. We
faint.
can't show death in a Pokemon game.
Maybe they just say that you faint.
Yeah, they do. They say that you black out, which is right.
People are complaining? Really? This is exactly what I wanted. It seemed like it was exactly what a lot of people wanted.
hard to see anything, but this room looks like it's packed
There are always
with
people
stuff.
complaining. But is there like a lot? Like I had just seen
I didn't see
positive
any
response.
complaints yet, but I
Yeah.
can imagine that I would basically expect there to be them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but like, is it significant? Mostly positive. Oh, I see.
No, you're
Well,
way
that's
ahead
good.
of where I am.
Oh, hi, Sasha.
I'm lagging.
People don't
behind
like that
today.
it's old? Really? I thought that was interesting because they've
Wait,
never done
that's
that
like the
setting
interesting
before.
part of it.
Yeah, that's one of the most interesting things.
Yeah,
So-
like that's what makes it neat. Is it's supposed to be more of a like a early like interactions with Pokemon in the world rather than
Yeah,
just
it
regular,
looked
right?
because of there's like a Western embassy in the town, and because of how one of the characters was dressed, I would date the time period that it takes place in to be like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yes, we were talking about that, Sasha. But I liked there's dialogue from that guy where he just says, "Pokemon are terrifying creatures," and I love that because I've never seen dialogue like that in a Pokemon game before.
Nope.
Because like some of them are terrifying, but they've never been able to be depicted that way.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Wait. Start from the beginning. What are you doing down
Okay,
here?
I'm catching up.
My
Also,
apologies.
Biss was pointing out that all of these regional variants and new Pokemon that they have in the region
There's an
all have gone
artifact in that
extinct
storage
because they
room
don't
I
appear in the
simply
in the
must
later
acquire.
games.
But as you may
So
have
by
noticed,
default,
the
these are
door
all
is-
extinct
I
variations.
took one of those roundish, ringy what's-its from the wall beside the door. No luck. So I had to go with that panel with the button. Even less luck. My gentle experimentation caused the chamber to flood. So I pushed the button again, perhaps a little too enthusiastically. Sparks and
This
smoke.
character's kind of incredible, by the way.
Obviously, I came here to investigate.
I have not encountered him yet.
Cautious footsteps may have contributed slightly to the collapse of a bridge. And when the bridge began to collapse, I may have, for the sake of expedience, abandoned the cumbersome ringy what's-it to the waves.
Like even like the cute
By the
little
time I got
fluffy
to give up the
Growlithe can
endeavor,
just
the door had closed
drop
behind me.
boulders on your head.
And thusly do we come to the present moment.
So, we need to replace that ring and get into the storage room. Then I can fix the panel and shut this place down.
And I can finally wrap my fingers around that looking glass.
Okay, Gildan. How are we gonna get that ring?
2 sets of hands, girl. 2 sets of hands. Behind
You
us
thought I was gonna
lie
say
there
drop
an
kick? The fluffy
enormous
Growlithe can
gate.
drop kick you?
I believe the gates must be operated in tandem. Together, we can dry this place out.
Guess we better get started then.
I guess we better.
One thing I think is hilarious is the one like the fish they show you riding, because like there's this gigantic fucking console on top of it with like handlebars, and it's like that. It's got to be so much harder just to put that on top of the fish every time you want to get on, rather than just riding the fish.
I'll take care of this one.
Also, I'm glad that they made that Pokemon because Basculin was previously one of the most useless Pokemon ever.
That's what Biss was saying about some of those.
Yeah, Basculin was just a fish. There was literally nothing interesting or useful about it. So to give it an evolution like that is very welcome. Same with Stantler. Stantler was... Like, I always liked Stantler, but again, it was like a completely useless Pokemon. So to give it an evolution is pretty nice. Now, if only they can give Dunsparce
Maybe-
an evolution.
Maybe the animations in this one aren't like extremely better, but they're way more lively. Cause like there's so
Yeah,
much
I was
less
noticing that
conversation.
too.
There's, like her, and then them, and then her, and then them, and more of like people walking, and doing
Mhm.
things.
A lot more, like, gesturing.
Yeah.
That looks more natural.
Like instead of just like doing mocap for like the face and then having game animations, it feels like they did full body for this.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say.
How about stagnant water? Charming.
Oh yeah, Wurmple is in Legends Arceus. I also thought it was fun that they mix and matched with the starters. They were starters all from different regions. Also, they were doing with the regional variants and the new evolutions that they added. It was also, I'm still so happy that they're doing new evolutions again, because that was always my favorite thing with Pokemon.
Grab that valve and give it a spin.
Yeah.
On it.
Like, that was my favorite thing with Generation 4 as a kid, was all the new evolutions.
Get the blasted gate moving.
There. You
So-
should be able to lower the gate.
Huh? Right you are.
But yeah, what the regional variants was, once they started doing those, I really liked the idea of them going back to previous regions that were, you know, set in Japan, and making Japanese-specific regional variants of the Pokemon they added in the non-Japanese regions.
Hmm.
And now they're doing that.
Yep.
That's exactly what I wanted.
One gate down.
Halfway through then, aren't we? To the second gate! A ladder is a rare and special thing, girl. Can depend on it to take you exactly where you need to go, and no further.
I will not be picking Oshawott because I don't like Oshawott final evolution.
I remember Oshawott being cute, but yeah, I think the final evolution. I forget
It just
what
goes
looks
from,
like.
well, the second evolution, you know, looks like what you'd expect. It's kind of just like a taller version of Oshawott with some new details. But then the final one suddenly is like on all fours and is a completely different head shape, and it's like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
I might pick Rowlet, but I've picked Rowlet before in Ultra Moon.
What's next
We
then?
can't swim against it.
And there's
What's left?
Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil, that's this one.
I've never picked Cyndaquil before.
Cyndaquil's cute.
I always, because in Generation 2 there's also Chikorita, who is one of my very favorite starters, so
Hmm.
I always picked
Oh, that's
that
the-
one.
That's the Blaziken line? No, it's not.
No.
Wait, Chikorita's, which one's that? Oh, that's the
Chikorita's
Bayleaf.
the little, yeah, the little green bean.
Yeah.
Chikorita's one of my very favorite Pokemon.
Why? Why would I drop to that ledge?
It's also, now I'm just remembering about how
You want me to do the...
they made Mega Evolution such a big thing, and they were like making tons of those, and then it's been completely abandoned by now.
Nice! What am I saying? That was stupendous.
Oh, it just skipped me ahead for... I didn't have to climb this ladder because I accidentally fell into the water trying to cross this gap.
However, they've gone back to just doing normal new evolutions for Pokemon, and I like that better, so I'm fine with that.
Okay, Elena, you crossed the gap you just crossed by running across the poles?
Uh-huh.
Please scan the audio log over there if you haven't already.
Oh,
You have, okay.
well, let's go look at it. The Dam family.
Wait, no, never mind. Not that one. It's the next one, it must be.
Okay.
It must be the next one. It's related, but it's not the one that I wanted. I like the audio logs here. They tell like a story of like some old people who were left in this dam as the world collapsed,
Oh.
and there's just them talking and shit. Do you like, Lena, what type of music do you like, if any?
I'm not sure how I would describe it. I'm not sure what
Okay.
genre it is. It's like,
Can you name names?
I like the band Metric a lot. I listen to a lot. They're from the
Yeah,
the
it's hard to
2000s.
name
Big,
names
big
sometimes.
forge, girl!
Okay.
Careful! Don't want you drowning in this ruin now, do we?
So yeah, there's Metric. I listen to, oh, what's it called? Why have I forgotten the name of this band? I listen to them all the
I don't
time. How
know.
did I forget it?
Sometimes it happens.
Let me think here. Um, 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 um. Damn. You do. I'm just thinking as hard as I can. I couldn't
believe
remember
you.
the name of this band. Have I just gone like back where I started?
Oh my god. This plan, when you hear Aloy talk about a plan, I want your
I
thoughts
think
on
I may
her
have just
plan.
backtracked.
I think you did.
Okay, I'm just going to look it up because this is really bugging me that I can't remember them. It's... Florence and the Machine. There you go. That's what it was called.
Okay.
Yeah, I listen to them a lot. Let me see. I have a big playlist. Here, let me see. More. There it is. I have to make sure it doesn't start playing or I'll get copyright pooped.
Yeah. Chikorita rap. Oh, Chikorita slaps when he hits you with his leaf. You're gonna shit your pants. That's a song that
What?
that Ash just came up with. It is quite beautiful.
Oh. Also, I listen to Alanis Morissette fairly often.
I've heard the name. I don't know them. I'm not. The thing is, like,
And...
extra bad. Maybe I shouldn't have asked the question because I'm not good at knowing music names.
Oh, I see. A lot of Metric, a lot of Florence and the Machine. And then just various other things. Kind of at random. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but apparently they've announced that they are going to remove sexually explicit content from OnlyFans starting in October.
Oh, I did see that. It was
Which-
really something that people thought would be an idea, I guess.
I saw somebody say that it seems like the current owner of the company got tired of it and is like selling it.
Like, that's their main market.
Yeah.
Also, fucking, I don't care if it's your market or not.
The lock position.
Fucking sex workers need spaces too.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know that there was anything else on there. So... that was not news I ever expected to see.
Yeah.
Also, relatedly, I've noticed YouTube lately doesn't seem to care about that type of stuff. Which this mentioned, I think, because
Oh, yeah, I know why.
it's not, there's not advertising on it anyway. So it's kind of like they just don't care. It's like, well, if there's no advertising.
There is other stuff on OnlyFans also, yeah. And like that's not inherently the problem, but
yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't know it was even there. Maybe I should look at the map to see where I'm supposed to be going.
I can tell you too.
Over there.
Like, if you go through that tunnel, you go a way. It might not be backwards actually. I think it might be the right way. Depends on how far along you are. I think you should continue going the way you are.
I just want to get a visual on where I'm going. TBH.
Okay.
I go through this pipe that might get me over there. Oh yeah, Lynn was telling me last night, or just yesterday, that in one of the Monster Hunter games you can just transform into Aloy. And play as Aloy, basically.
Wait, sorry. What was the first thing?
So Lynn was telling me yesterday that in one of the Monster Hunter games you can transform into Aloy.
Oh yes, in Monster Hunter World, they released Aloy, and like I think you can get like the robot skin for your little pet.
Yeah, it
friend or
looks
something?
the cat looked like a watcher.
Yeah. I just always remember
Didn't
the
expect
fucking
that.
awful Mega Man one.
Yeah. Also, you can just play as Ryu in that game as well. Which looked really
Wild.
weird. It was like Ryu
Ryu
with
from
a crossbow.
Streets?
Yeah, Ryu from Streets.
Which streets?
The fighter Streets.
Ryu from Subnautica.
That's not a crossover I expected.
Yeah, Subnautica 3 is gonna be wild.
Also, that thing they announced about the game Pokemon Cafe Mix is kind of wild. Where they're updating it. They're giving it a big update, which is... Wait, I just went in a big circle, Arrow. This didn't...
No! Wait. You're on that? Oh, okay, you just needed... Whoa, wait. What are you doing? You're on the second one? You need to jump on that platform and then jump across. It doesn't look like a jump you can make, but you can make it.
Jump where?
Straight across.
Straight across what?
Yeah. You were just facing towards it. Like, there's a little platform with a little thing sticking out of it. It looks like you can't make the jump, but you go.
I went over there earlier,
That's where you gotta go.
but that was a dead end.
No, it's not.
See, because you can go over here.
Elena, it's not a dead end. I can't... also, remember, I'm a little bit behind you, so it might take...
Oh, there is a ladder.
Yeah, there you go.
I missed that. That's why I thought it was a dead end.
Oh, you're close, girl. Just spring across the gap.
But yeah, they're updating Pokemon Cafe Mix and giving it a completely different title. Which
I saw that.
Look out below.
I don't think I've ever seen a game do that before. Because that doesn't make any sense, because it's just going to be called Pokemon Cafe Remix, but Pokemon Cafe Mix isn't going to exist anymore because it's been replaced with Pokemon Cafe Remix.
Same way on this side. I should look for an access tunnel.
I went earlier to where the other thing was, but I wasn't able to turn it yet. Also, I've been playing that game a bit lately, and I posted a little bit about it yesterday. I don't think I've ever played a game where you do less.
See, I was told by Biss it was pretty bad, and it didn't look that interesting to me. But then I didn't know that they had actually had input from someone who actually played it.
Yeah, it's kind of just... You just play until you win. And there's not really any thought that can go into it.
This
Yeah.
is my sword of Delve. 1,000 little problems to solve. A million minute and invisible
Also,
It doesn't really feel like I'm doing a... Like, I don't know how to explain this. It doesn't feel like I am having much of any input over the game. It's kind of like every level is basically the same thing, it's like usually in a matching game you have to get like things near each other and then you have to like swap them around to match them, and there's some strategy there, right? And you have to like search.
Yeah.
In this, it's just there are a few types of Pokemon on the screen, and you just drag your finger across all of the one kind on the screen, and they all match.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Also,
well,
can I just
All right,
say,
Gilden.
okay, no, continue. Finish your thought. Sorry.
it's just like there's been exactly one level so far where there was any strategy.
Huh.
And it was just that there's these little tomatoes you have to drop down into a basket at the bottom of the screen, and there are these breakable blocks blocking them, but on the left and right side, the breakable blocks lead to pits that aren't the basket, and it's hard to get the tomatoes back out of those. So if you break those first, you're just kind of screwed. But that was the most strategy that there's been, and
Huh.
that
So
was
Ash has played it a
really
lot,
fun.
it turns out. Apparently it gets pretty hard, but the bummers act like the cafe has any effect on the game, and it's like he got to level 120.
There's
here's my thing.
There's 1,170 levels in the game, by the way.
Oh my god. Tell me if I'm wrong, but this might be less of the issue that I'm talking about than other games, but I kind of hate that this is like the puzzle game genre, because so many of these games just don't feel like they're like puzzles with solutions as much as just stuff that you go along. Like I would never ever really think Bejeweled should be called a puzzle game.
Yeah, me
because
neither, because
it doesn't end. It doesn't have a solution.
They call Tetris a puzzle game as well. Which
Yeah, Tetris doesn't deserve it either. Like they're both great games, and in their own ways. I don't really like Bejeweled, but you know, Tetris is great.
I think they need a different genre name for these type of games other than puzzle.
Yeah.
It makes puzzle too broad of a term.
Puzzle's also already broad enough that, like, if you really stretch it, almost anything can fit. So it might just be a bad word in general, but it doesn't feel like it accurately describes those games. Yeah, arcade puzzle game helps solve it a bit. That's true.
Yeah, I've thought of maybe calling it an action puzzle game as well.
Hmm.
It's kind of.
But
a
we've
lot of
already
it's
gotten
about
into genre talk
reflexes.
enough here, probably.
Yeah, but this is one we're in agreement on.
Yeah.
That this is a bad genre name. And doesn't really tell you much of anything. I liked Pokemon Shuffle a lot more than Pokemon Cafe Mix.
But I tan this leather well. It'll keep. Okay, Gilden, turn the valve.
I played like hundreds and hundreds of hours of Pokemon Shuffle.
Damn thing's too heavy. Glance behind me, would you? See anything big and, broken?
And I never paid a single cent for it either. I always feel like weirdly like prideful about not paying any money for free-to-play games.
Look out below.
I'm always like, I'm gonna show them who's boss. I'm gonna play all of this game, and I'm never gonna give them a cent. Which is funny because I don't feel that way about a game that's just, you know, you just pay for it once and then you're good.
Yeah.
When I do that, it's fine. But for some reason, if they give it to me, I think it's not that they give it to me free, it's that they want to, like, leech money out of me slowly over time. And it's like, I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction. They're not gonna get anything out of me. Psst. Where to go? Look for the counterweight. Well, this quest ended up being more involved than I thought it would be.
Oh, it's quite
Looks like
involved.
the counterweight broke
I'm
off.
telling you, the quests in this DLC are good.
My weight won't be enough to get it moving again. Hang on, okay? I've got a plan.
Get on the counterweight.
Like, I would argue that this DLC might be the best part of the game for most of it.
Oh, I see.
Wreckage. It's pretty much
Yeah.
gone.
Even though it's just in the snow.
Yeah, and it's like not completely related to the main story.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Aloy's on the counterweight.
Yeah, okay, so can we talk about this plan? How much do you think Aloy weighs?
I was gonna say, I don't think that she weighs enough to make a difference. On
Yeah,
this
it
big
does
metal
seem pretty
structure.
unlikely that, like, she would be able to weigh down the counterweight enough to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the counterweight's broken enough that it won't open the door, I'd say you probably need a bit more than, like, maybe a couple £100.
I mean, maybe she's... Well, she is trying to, like, jump on it, which will make...
That's
will be
true,
more
that does
force
help.
than just her weight.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no she's not. She's just gonna land there pretty lightly. She went up so high. Yeah, what? How does she weigh enough to make it go down? It's going down pretty fast, too. Which would imply she's weighing it down a lot.
Aloy is dense as... She's just, like... she's got muscles upon muscles. Like, it's all the muscles are packed together into a muscle black hole. She is super dense.
Well...
Almost low enough to jump.
You can make it! Let's see another one of those mad leaps!
See another one of those mad leaps.
Yeah, this guy's pretty fun. I like how Aloy never fucking answers him while he's talking in World Idol. He just asked her a question, and you'll see it in a bit. Like, she just doesn't say anything.
Got it.
Yeah, there's got other things on her mind.
You were a sight to see.
Sasha, did you just bup in the chat?
Metal rust trap to metal rust trap.
No bups.
Still a bit of water, but...
And by the way, you're allowed to bup, but I will look at you disapprovingly
Era will judge you for
for
bupping.
10
At least I
seconds.
should be able to swim now.
Snap maw! It's a snap maw! Very, very big snap maw!
I see it, Gildan.
Very big, very,
There she answered him.
big.
Just stay out of the
Just
way.
because she was annoyed at him. Isn't it possible to make snap maws explode? Or did I ruin my chance of that by knocking the explosives
I don't
off
know.
of it?
I didn't get mine to explode either. So, probably, but maybe it's just very finicky.
I hate that it can shoot those all the way here. Its head is the weak spot. Or no, underneath the head. This is a bad angle for hitting that. How cold is this stuff that it hurts her, but the snow doesn't?
It must be really fucking cool.
Is it like dry ice or something?
Maybe. It does kind of have like the mist
Liquid
effect,
nitrogen?
right? Who knows?
Oh, there it exploded. I got it. Alright, that was easy.
It's dead.
It's dead. Wait, Aloy just doesn't like this guy, does she?
She's a little, she's a little just like off put by him for sure.
Where do I go now? There's nowhere on the map.
Wait, so what'd you do? Did you loot the crocodile?
No, am I supposed to?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says
Because
search
the whole
the
thing
snap
was
mod.
he was supposed to eat. Yeah.
You're supposed to be getting that?
Yeah.
And now I've had to do it? No wonder she doesn't like him. I've collected so much blaze and chill water that I, like, do not need it anymore.
Got too much.
Yeah.
You're right. This thing did swallow the ring.
The One Ring?
That's the old gilded intuition in action.
No.
Never led me astray.
No Lord of the Rings.
Sure, its chosen routes can be a bit circuitous, but never mind. To the storage room. To the spoils.
Lord of the Rings, but the civilization is actually built on top of a ancient, advanced civilization that existed before.
Didn't you want to get into the storage room?
I do, fervently. But, well, I got time to poke my nose in if you do.
Limited edition merch.
Okay, Shells. Shells, we're not focusing on that right now. Recording, okay? We're not even in the band meeting. Sort of counting practice, right? Merch. We need merch. Stickers! You're not a real band until someone vandalizes.
Don't know where the thing I'm looking for is. What's making me annoyed?
What were you saying about vandalizing government property?
Damn, there's something I was gonna say. Let me backtrack so I can remember what it was. So when I was over here... What was I thinking about? Oh yes, it was that there's been enough time on the Earth that there could have been like another civilization like ours that existed and then
Yeah.
was destroyed and then no longer has any traces of it.
Interesting.
They said probably the only thing that will, like, in millions of years, leave a trace of our civilization is the, like, emissions. Like, there will be specific, like, carbon deposits and things like that that will be traceable to, like, our use of fossil fuels and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
And they said there is a similar thing that they've found from millions of years ago, but it doesn't, like, which could denote that there was an advanced civilization that did that, but the only problem is that it seems to have been made over the course of, like, several million years. Instead of, like, a few thousand or a few hundred. Which seems way too long. It seems more likely to be a natural process. Essentially. But it could have been. Because, yeah, they're like, well, it only took humans, like, 10,000 years to get from, like... cavemen to civilization as it is now.
I can't wait.
So that's definitely there's been that much time, like a countless many number of times over, so I think that's kind of interesting. But there could have been something else intelligent before us, but we wouldn't be able to tell now. Yeah. Were they really that advanced if they didn't have Among Us and Fortnite? Oh.
Because ancient among us.
What was that, Arrow? You were kind of cutting out.
Ancient among us.
Instead of ancient aliens, it's ancient among us.
Yeah.
Gonna be the next big show. I mean, that's kind of already a meme, you know, where they like show like the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, and then it looks like Among Us.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get out of this place.
Well, okay. So you got the ring, right? You just
Uh-huh.
need to climb back up. There's stairs in the main area.
What if I just fast travel out of here?
No, you need to go. You're still doing stuff here.
Oh.
Wait, did you leave? Did you stop the quest?
I don't think so.
Did you switch quests?
It's waterlogged.
I think you did.
Return to the control center.
No, but you says Shaman's Path is your active quest.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know how
so
to
that probably
get. I
doesn't
don't remember
help.
how to get to the control center. We
So
ended up. I remember I
you-
accidentally backtracked there one time.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
gotta,
how I
you gotta
did
either
it.
backtrack. There's like a shortened path there too. If you get back to like the main
Going
big
down
area
fast.
room, there's just stairs you can climb.
Ba, 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 ba. Oh, wow, 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 wow.
I found the thing, and so now I will know when you will be near.
I'm confuzzled.
Okay, so you gotta see, well, if you put your hand on the touch pad and then look around, you'll see where the icon's pointing at.
Over there.
Yeah, so that's where you need to go.
Put my hand on the touchpad.
I just was searching for words. Okay.
I'm gonna put my whole hand on there.
No, not click it. You can just touch it and then look for it on where you are right now, though.
Yeah, but I
Like,
wanted to see on the map.
That's fair. Maps and interior places sometimes
It's
suck,
on
but
floor 3.
yeah. So you want to climb up those stairs
gotta
at the
go
end,
up.
and then you can use if you there's an entrance
Oh my
from
God.
those stairs, basically. It'll let you get
What if there was an
there.
entrance from my stairs?
Oh, did you already do the little like water puzzle?
I think so.
You must have, I think.
Well, yeah, if it's pointing me to go back to the control center.
Like where you had to move the pipeys around.
No, I haven't had to move any pipes.
Okay.
Dang, is this the right way? There's nowhere to go from
So
here.
you want to go on the other side of the room, like straight
Oh.
across the room from here, and there's another set of stairs. Climb
I
those.
was worried
ones.
about that.
I mean, actually, you can use you can get there from here too. I think if you go around. Oh, you already jumped off.
Yeah.
Maybe that actually is the better staircase. I don't know. I'm not in the area anymore. I can't really like look. But
Oh,
one of those staircases lets you get.
I just
there.
love how I somehow managed to get there accidentally, and now when I'm trying to get there on purpose, I can't do it.
Yeah. Sasha says, "Who was the imposter though?"
If the ancient civilizations were Among Us crewmates, who was the imposter?
Yeah. It was cats.
There we go.
It was
Now I've
Atlantis.
found a way.
That's why it's gone. Atlantis got vented.
There's apparently a myth that there were like several other continents in the world that like sunk underwater. That there is no geological evidence for. And also could not be explained with geologic processes. Like there's nothing that would cause a continent to sink underwater in a human timescale of any kind.
Fort Nungus, says Ash. Why am I calling Ash Wisploid today? I just like my brain is not making the connection today
Oh,
that he's Wisploid for some reason. My brain is broken.
Oh no.
It's okay. It wasn't ever really in a great state of repair.
Stuck in this place forever. I can't get out of here.
Elena. Elena.
No, I missed. I'm back down at the bottom.
What did you try and jump to? Oh, Elena, no, you should just wrap around.
I don't know.
Go up the stairs. Just go up the stairs.
I did go up the stairs. There's nothing up there.
Go up the other ones with the ladder.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, the ones that you're going up now.
I did.
Now I'm sure there. I wish I was back there now. There's a way there. It's not impossible. I promise you. So go up the ladder, then go the opposite the ladder. Wait, no. Oh. Wait, no. It is the other set of stairs, Elena. It is the other set of stairs. Okay, now I know. Now I have my bearings. Elena, please.
I managed to
Or you
make
could
the
try
jump
going
this
that way.
time.
Oh, you did?
Oh, but she won't. Oh, that didn't help.
Yeah, if you go up the other side of the stairs, you can wrap around there the right way.
Okay.
Oh, you did manage to make the jump. That's too bad. There we go. Wait, so you didn't go straight through those doors there? You already did that stuff?
What doors?
I think you did. You didn't spin some wheels on a hole?
I died.
How did you die?
She fell through a hole.
Oh.
I am pooping and farting right
Horizon
now.
Zero Dawn is a story about why you shouldn't go exploring an abandoned ancient wreck.
In an ancient abandoned dam.
Yeah.
How's the dam still working in any capacity after all this time?
Built to last.
Dams aren't usually that sturdy.
We drained enough water for what we need to do, but I wonder if I could empty out the whole dam.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. You go through the door here.
Pipes, valves. Maybe I
Oh,
can
there
drain
it
most
is.
of the water from here. All right, time to get the flow going to the right place.
Wait, you didn't do this? We could have just gone through the door. Why was it guiding you to the control room?
This looks like it might be a little much for me.
Don't worry, I think I've got this.
Music to my
Text
ears.
message.
To each job, its proper tool. Toothpicks make horrible arrows, as the saying goes.
Maybe because you switched the quest, it had some bug or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, you gotta play the puzzle game.
One of these. Do you know this is a puzzle?
It is.
That didn't help. The water can't pass through.
Well, this one's busted.
That's not quite right.
These make very farty sound effects. That doesn't help. Yeah, when you twist these things, it sounds like somebody's having stomach problems.
Something's not right.
You got a competent mind, girl. A mind for nuance and finesse. Not I. No, indeed. Not old Gildan.
Hey, Gildan. Thanks for that. Imagine a pipe system set up like this in real life.
Yeah, I wonder what the purpose would be. It'd be fun to play
This is
with, I
so
guess,
complicated.
maybe.
Demands a certain degree of patience.
It's so uniform for
I'm afraid I inherited
no
a lot of
reason.
restlessness.
Feels like something they would have at OMSI, which is the
Yeah,
Museum
no,
of
I've been
Science and
there.
Industry. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of
it
stuff
was
there.
a fun time.
There,
I think they had a submarine there.
My mom,
once.
they have a submarine. You can go in.
Yeah.
My mom was talking about when she had to chaperone a field trip there with my sister, middle school, and she had to break up a fight between two kids.
Oh my
They were
god.
getting in a fight. She said like the one kid, she saw him taking off his glasses and going over to the other kid. It was like, it was like, you don't take off your glasses to just go talk to someone.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
She knew he was getting in a fight.
This must go down to the lower level.
And apparently he was claiming like, no, I wasn't gonna fight him, I was just talking to him. He's like, and she was like, you don't take off your glasses to just go talk. I knew you were getting in a fight.
Ugh, stinks down here.
Apparently the other kid that he was going after
Smells like a
had been like splashing water on him and refusing to stop. And
Oh.
so he got mad and was gonna beat him up apparently.
If you don't grab that weapon coil, you really should. It's one of the best ones, and it's one of several unique ones.
I can't, I don't have inventory space.
You can uncraft one of the weapon coils. That's like a lesser rarity.
Guess I'll disassemble an uncommon one.
Just any of the green ones. Yeah.
Drummer's weapon coil.
Looks like that's everything. I should head back up with Gilda.
Honestly, I'd say just disassemble all the green ones at some point,
Oh,
because
okay.
like
Yeah, I guess I
you,
really
you
don't
get
need them.
plenty of purples and stuff.
Well, I guess I'll do that now when I'm thinking. Might take some time.
That's okay. We can chat about OMSI or something. I don't know. Oh, I think they had a Star Wars exhibit. When we were there.
They
It
have
was like ages ago.
they have one area of the museum that's just for like random exhibits that'll come and set up there.
Yeah, they had like
For a
a Star Wars
certain period of
one,
time.
and like one of the things was like build your own droid or something.
There's a weird one that they have come there every so often called I think it's called Body Works. And it's just literal like dead people
Yeah.
set up to like
I've seen the
look at their anatomy.
images of that before. It's really cool.
I would be too weirded out.
I wouldn't go with my parents, then I'd feel weird.
When we went, there's been I don't remember what all exhibits I've actually seen in that part of it. You have to pay separately to go to those exhibits too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Although through my mom's work, we usually get in there free, and I think you only have to pay for the extra exhibit if you want to go there. So
That's nice.
that's not too bad.
I hate how expensive some places like that are, because like they're so good and interesting, but like they're just
Mhm.
because like our aquarium here is like $20 for $22 for an adult ticket,
I see.
and it's like you can save $1 by buying online. It's just like what the hell.
We also have a membership to the zoo, which makes it cheaper overall if we go enough times
Yeah.
during the year. So
Yeah, we're jealous, Ash. He made a chicken-shaped topiary in Story of Seasons. What's Story of Seasons?
that's what they call Harvest Moon now. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
what happened?
It was slightly complicated. Where like one company owned the rights to the name Harvest Moon, and the other one
Okay.
like makes the games, and they were just like, you
So
don't
now
get to
you
use
gotta
that.
go back to the control room.
I think
Elena.
the short version is like they're like, you don't get to use the name anymore because we're not doing that, and so they just kept making the games, but they changed the title. And then the other company, I think I heard, has continued to try and use the Harvest Moon name, but now that they don't have the developer, they're like really bad.
You weren't lying when you said
So-
it was like kind of all over the place.
Yeah, this is just sort of the basics of it. There's probably a lot of details I'm forgetting or leaving out.
Ash is explaining it in chat. Elena, you're going backwards.
I I'm trying to find my way out of here still.
You need to jump into the main room, go to the other set of stairs, not the one that you climbed up.
I don't... This place is too complicated.
Now you need to go
for
back
me.
to the control room. So basically, there was the dev company in Japan. They didn't have any localizers because they were small. They got an American company to localize it. That American company owned the Harvest Moon trademark. Okay, there it is. Really shit of the localizers
So
to do
imagine
that.
what is he doing? Look at him. He's getting in his calisthenics while he's waiting, I guess.
Is he? Oh,
He's just
I
going.
see him. Yeah, just know.
Having a grand old time. I think after this mission I'll go back to the main story. Because this took up a lot of time. And the other mission here is pretty far away. So...
Yeah, and we should come back at least for, I think, the story and one other side quest. But that can be later.
Xseed and Marvelous decided they were finally big enough to do localization in-house, and the American company got mad. They argued that because of their localization they had been a massive part of the brand, that they contributed just as much and therefore owned the idea just as much.
Okay.
That doesn't
I can get
sound
being,
right.
like, mad because, like, you're losing work. That does suck. I think what they did was kind of shit, though, because, like, I don't know. It really isn't their IP.
Yeah. Was I right? Did I have that detail correct, Ash? That they have attempted to make games titled Harvest Moon, but because they don't have the Harvest Moon developers, they're not any good? Okay, I was right.
That is something.
So if you see a game titled Harvest Moon now, steer clear.
Yeah.
There's the hole I died in before.
Yeah,
So where do I go
don't die
from here,
in one.
Arrow? I don't understand.
There's got to be a way to get over there. I think there is. It's hard to see.
I fell
'cause
in the
can only
hole
look at
again and
different
died!
places.
Trying
Elena,
to look,
why?
I was just trying to look
Why?
around!
Elena.
I was just trying to look around!
Elena.
So they're making their own bootleg Harvest Moon games then, Ash. Essentially.
Oh, apparently Xseed and Marvelous have remade and remastered Harvest Moon games. Like story
no,
of
it didn't
seasons,
save
friends
all the
of mineral
modifications I got
kingdom.
rid of. I gotta do it again.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, Selena, no. You gotta stop jumping in the hole.
I was just trying to look! I couldn't see because there was leaves in my face.
Alright, maybe I do have to run back now.
Help me find my way out of here.
Yeah. 4 up, please.
I think you don't even have to sell things to get money for stuff. You can just disassemble it and it turns into money.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that way, huh? Like, you can disassemble plants, right? So, I don't know if that's better or worse than selling them, but it feels effectively the same.
Somehow have to get here.
Circle back around to the matter of the supply room.
Okay, so this is the staircase. Spawn right next to it, thankfully.
can't wait. I can't wait.
Whoa, where's he going? Wait, I guess I can follow him.
Soon I'll hold
He got stuck last time.
So
didn't he?
I kept going.
like Mom and
I kept trying to go this way, and that's the hold right there that
Yeah.
I fall in. Cause I didn't understand.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I didn't understand.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
You did it though.
There it
That's what
is.
matters. You did it. You done did it. Did it.
Oh my god. Imagine if the wild area in Pokemon had no grass, no trees, no Pokemon, no water. It was just a huge flat space with nothing.
Oh my god, that's wow.
One world. Oh yes,
One
this
world
was
is
reminding me.
apparently.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about, because with Pokemon Legends, I was thinking of what other wild things I would want them to do with the Pokemon series.
Yeah.
And I still wish that they would do a Pokemon game in space.
Huh.
And like maybe you could go to different planets and there'd be different weird Pokemon on the planets.
And Clefairy could wear a little astronaut suit,
Yeah,
like in Reboot.
because they already have some Pokemon that are themed as being aliens.
girl.
Yeah, you have
So,
Deoxys,
yeah, that's a big one.
and yeah, that's the only one I know because that's the one that I remember watching on TV or maybe in the theater or something. I don't
In
know.
Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they had the Ultra Space, which was kind of space
Oh, that's
travel
right.
type
Bis
thing.
has told me about that.
So it's like, no, they've stuck their foot
Why
in
don't
the
they
door
just make
there.
Spore, but Spore Space Stage Pokemon?
That would be interesting.
I mean, Spore Space Stage gameplay itself is not really
That worked.
a thing that you would put into a Pokemon, probably, but like
Yeah.
the idea of like that type of thing, maybe.
I mean, this is it. We get to play together, what?
Where did it
Two
go?
more times? Farewell tour! Reunion tour in like 6 months. Let's do it all the time. For our adoring fans, it's not that hard to stay in touch, Shelly, because it's an office space. People always say,
That is really funny, Ash.
Okay.
Power
Fix the
cell.
panel and shut this place down.
Hey, this
Did
quest
you-
took a lot
you-
longer than I thought it would.
It's because their quests are actually things. They're not like just here, go kill this. They got
Time to
incidental
fight.
characters that are somewhat interesting, at least. Like I don't know. I'm telling you, these quests are way better. I wonder if it's just because they got more time to work on it. I don't know.
Looking glass?
My old mom
Just
found
imagine
one of
how
my
wild they could, what wild things they could do with Pokemon designs if they did Pokemon in space.
there in the window.
And you go to different planets and there's different Pokemon that live there. Because like
Couldn't
they've
they just
shown,
do that already, though?
They did that with the Ultra Beasts a bit, yeah. I would love to see them.
Like
explore
yeah, like
that
what
more
prevents
fully.
them from doing wild designs right
Must have meant a
now?
lot to you.
Oh, well. Much as any artifact of the
Because
old
they're
ones
cowards.
mean to me, really.
Yep, there you go. You got it.
It's
You got it right
fine.
in one
I'm
answer.
fine. Besides,
Yeah, I think that would
we're
be,
the
I
spoils compared to the
think an
delve.
interesting thing to do with the
That's
series would
why
be
we do it,
Pokemon in
girl.
space.
The delve, not the treasure. And what
What about
delve
less
it was.
Pokemon in space and Pokemon specifically
The
like
Great Blazing Forge, I'll never
on
forget
like
that.
one part of space?
Now then, I
That too would be fine.
believe we have some repairs to make.
Like either way, you could get some wild
Pokemon
stuff.
on the Black Comet.
Pokemon in a black hole.
No, on the black comet.
What if they made a Pokemon that is a black hole, but like alive?
You know, the one that the Black Doom runs around in?
Yeah.
Make that Pokemon Sonic crossover.
Oh,
Haven't they made black hole Pokemon? What about the one that eats everything? Isn't that just basically a black hole?
A little bit.
Like
That's
Kirby.
the one. That's
Kirby's
the
a black
one.
hole. Kirby's a black hole Pokemon.
And I can't remember its name off the top of my head, but that's the one that in the anime just sounds like some guy going, "Ah!"
Oh yeah, that one.
I'll hazard a guess you.
I can't get over
I
that.
heard something.
So we got two black hole
Oh,
Pokemon.
she's modest now.
What is that? Is that
A
Guzzlord?
master of the
Guzzlord,
art
yes,
of the
you are
old ones,
correct.
a delver,
Guzzlord
that
and
claims the entire
Kirby.
claim, and she wants to be modest. Ha!
It's not like I did it alone, Gildan.
No. No, I suppose not.
Yeah, Guzzlord screaming.
So what's next for you? On your way back to the claim?
And deprive the people of Song's Edge the story of this encounter? Perish the thought! I'll stay there a while longer. But a story is best told by all who encountered it. Come and lend a hand, won't you?
Now, through a series of thoughts, I've been reminded of the fact that it seems like Nintendo had intentions to make DS games downloadable on the 3DS, but they never did it.
Minimal flood
Huh.
damage.
Sounds like the
That
basement's
disappoints
right
me.
up, too.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, maybe it could have been.
Another adventure so
Like the
far.
Vita was like
Braver than me.
apparently a really good console, but just didn't sell well for whatever reason. And I feel like it could have been like that.
It never
maybe.
had the quote-unquote killer app. Never had like the games that people would buy the system for.
I guess so.
And it also had proprietary memory cards instead of SD cards.
Yeah,
Which I
but
remember
people
a lot of
found a way
people
to just
complain
hack it
about.
anyway, so like it didn't matter.
Oh, I see.
Like the Vita got like
Oh,
I know
was
people
just
had
pointing
like
out the Vita
OS
was
installations
also
and stuff.
fairly expensive.
Oh, you know what?
It
I
was
didn't realize
expensive
that.
compared
Yeah,
to the 3DS.
that makes sense. How much was the 3DS?
The 3DS initially was very expensive. It was like $300. But then after a little while, they dropped the price way down, and then I think it was like 100 something.
Oh wow. Okay.
It
yeah.
was like nearly half
That makes
price.
sense.
And then it started selling a lot. But like the 3DS had kind of a rough launch as well. It didn't do very well at the beginning, but then they got like Mario Kart out on it and Pokemon and stuff, and then it really took off.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the best-selling console of the generation. It outsold the PS4 and the Xbox, and well, obviously the Vita, and it outsold the Wii
Yeah.
U, obviously. So,
Well, I mean that one probably isn't too hard.
yeah, it's outsold all the home consoles, which is pretty wild. I remember talking about that years ago, and somebody didn't believe me. And then I linked them the Wikipedia page that, you know, listed the console sales, and they're like, Wikipedia isn't a source, and it's like,
Oh,
Well,
okay, teacher.
well, I don't know. go
Aren't
look
you a
at-
pawn of the educational system?
Well, it's like well, they have it compiled there on Wikipedia. Just go see where their sources are. Just
Yeah,
like, scroll down
they
the
have
page.
sightings.
Yeah.
Like,
Just go see where they got the sales reports from. I don't think they're lying.
that seems like a very shitty thing to lie about at the very least. Like, well,
Yeah.
not even so shitty. Just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And then you gotta leave. You gotta leave the place that you're in.
Easier said than done, Arrow.
Apparently. Go back to the control room. That's where the door is.
So the score is.
Yeah.
My God.
Did you die?
No, just slightly lost.
For whatever reason, I thought you just said you died.
No.
Good.
I always thought that the Vita seemed interesting, and I kind of wanted one at one point, but
Yeah.
now I don't think I would ever get one.
I think I would appreciate it, but only in the sense that it's, you know, basically just was a hackable Switch, like, apparently.
Water's lower.
And so, like, now that we've got the
Really
Steam
bad sound.
Deck coming out, if that
Realize
ends up being any good, then it'll just be the better version.
It seems like I feel pretty confident that it's going to be good.
I mean, it's hard to be confident when, like, no real models exist in the hands of anyone other than Steam.
Well, I think
So-
people at IGN got to...
People have
did
tried it,
mess
but
with
that
it.
doesn't really mean much.
I see.
Especially when it's IGN. I don't know. I don't trust, like, IGN, because they're like the same people who give, you know, all the AAA games, like, really big scores. Like, you know, it
And
just
then
feels kind of too close.
They rate Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire 7.8 out of 10, too much water.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yep. That's like a big famous meme.
Ah.
They said 7.8 out of 10, and then in the cons they put too much water.
Yeah, I just feel like they're a little too
That's a
close
big
already
meme.
to, like, the... Oh, we benefit off of getting big games. So here's a big game name, Valve, help, you know, like that kind of thing.
I do have interest in getting an original PSP though, because there are some unique games on there that I would be interested.
Would
to
you
try.
get an original or like one of the Go's?
I would not get the Go one.
I'll find a use
I think
for
there
it.
is like a second model of like the regular version that's like slightly improved somehow. I forget how it
I
is
think
exactly.
you can
though.
like hack both of them, so like it doesn't really. I don't know how much.
I just
it
remember
matters.
people didn't like the Go one.
Hmm.
It
Well, yeah, the
doesn't
Go
seem
one
very
couldn't take
interesting.
discs.
Yeah, well, that's one of the.
I
main
looked
things
into getting one
want
when they were like current for
I
a
wanna-
bit. I was like I almost bought one.
I definitely want to put discs in it. So there was the games I'm interested primarily is there's that Mega Man remake that looks really interesting and cute,
Oh yeah.
and also there's a Sonic game on it. I forget what it's called, but
Isn't the Mega Man remake also a PlayStation 2 game? Or am I wrong?
I think it was just PSP.
She wasn't kidding about the sound.
I swear Biss made me get a copy of it, and I have. Maybe I don't know. We've got a lot of Mega Man games. The issue is, I need to get a solution for streaming PS1 games from a PS2 because the
I
way the
see.
resolution changes for consoles that age, and even some PlayStation 2 games, not very many, mind you, like very small amounts, have like old resolution, and because it changes like that, it freaks out the fucking Elgato and breaks it. Like it takes forever to get the Elgato into a workable state again.
My Elgato doesn't like playing GameCube games from the Wii.
That's probably the same thing then, I'd say.
Well, in that case, it's just audio problems. Like the
Oh,
audio comes through extremely garbled.
okay, then it's
and
not the same
unlistenable.
thing. That's weird. Yeah. I actually know a friend who found like a perfect solution for it, but it's still like $70 to $150 depending on like, the model you buy.
I looked up the problem, and other people have had it as well, and they basically just said that it's just the capture card just doesn't like it, and there's not really anything you
Huh.
can do.
Wait, so could you not like? You could probably just like output the audio to something. Like you could put it to a line in into a computer.
Yeah, people
and
were
then you
trying to
could-
help me figure out how to do that, but I didn't like have anything. to do
Audio
that with.
management in Windows is hell, so I don't. I mean, also you can just run past those dudes. That's what I did. I didn't fight them.
Oh, but one of them's marked as the quest.
Nope.
Oh, it's not.
Nope.
Oh,
Just
I
go
thought
down
it
the
was.
flag.
I thought the quest was to kill that thing. Oh, I've been a fool.
No, you don't have been a fool.
Been a big chungus.
But as soon as you enter this area and get to the bottom,
And there's
we're
a
gonna
fight.
listen to some fucking punk music.
Oh.
and why I like this area so much. Honestly. So if you turn around from where you're facing.
Oh, there's people in here.
You look happy to be
No.
I
You
don't know what
went
you did, but the
went
water
too no.
drained and the
You gotta
snap
go
of
back
a
to where you
short
dropped
song.
down from the
What do you
ladder.
think of the music?
Oh,
I've never heard anything else like
You
it.
can talk to people and finish the
That's
quest
because
if you
there's
want.
no other place with such
Oh.
resonance, such intonation that rattles your ribs with its power.
everybody's like
And
frozen.
of course, no one else knows these pipes like I do.
Elena, it's
I've
called the
lived in my
Frozen
ear before I
Wilds.
could walk, strapped to my
Yeah.
father's back.
But imagine like living your life and you're always slightly
Thank you for
frozen.
draining the waters, not just for myself, but for my ancestors and their songs.
Doesn't sound like the best
Please
to me,
take this
personally.
as a token of our gratitude.
Some weird music you're playing there.
I think it's cool.
Oh, get it? Because it's cold in here? I got a trophy. Drained the flood.
Alright, so where you entered this place, straight across, there's a little audio log.
It.
And that's the one.
Performance.
Illustrious Overflow Basin Studios, it's Concrete Beach Party! A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4!
Well,
This is a nice little punk song about, you know, the horrors of living in big capitalism.
well.
It was just a really nice thing to hear. Just an actual, like,
Stop
kind of neat little
Mhm.
punk story about these people being displaced by robots but still forced to live under capitalism in their jobs, and then writing some fucking music by visiting the pipes that they are banned from.
It's interesting how that's there, just sort of like alongside this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little side story in your side quest. Side quest, side story.
Yep.
Okay. How long have I been going for? An hour and a half? Okay. We can still keep going. Let's do main story. You curse the darkness. Where is it? It's over there. So we'll warp here. We can do that as much as we want now. Oh, now I'm thinking about the Drew Gooden video I watched last night. Where, it was about the movie Little Italy. And there was this inexplicable line in it where somebody just said, "That's why it's... Now I know why it's called Little Italy, because nothing ever changes here." And I was like... What does that mean? Why would it why would it being called Little Italy mean that nothing changes there? I don't...
I don't know.
It's so weird. Yeah, I watched it with Sasha last night. Says it was incredible.
Oh,
As
I got
well.
some stickers recently
Oh, stickers.
from. There's a marine biologist on Twitter who studies like squids, and she was like, "Hey, if you fill out
Squid
this Google
stickers?
Doc, I'll send you these 2 stickers." And the one's like, if you put them up in a public place, and one's like, text want a squid fact? Text this number. Oh yeah, if you want. And like they work, and they're both like part of just a thing that she does, and like the other one's about bug facts, and I forget what you the text.
Cool bug
Just-
facts.
Yeah, I actually have a picture. Here, I'll send it to you on Discord.
This is reminding me of something. But I forgot what. Oh yes, it reminds me of somebody on Mastodon and was just giving out stickers. You just give them your address and they would tell them how many stickers you want and they'd send them.
Oh
And,
yeah, is it fucking Liliana? I know some people have done that before.
might be the name. But I got and Knuckles stickers from that.
Yes, yes. I have Ann Knuckles stickers from meeting her IRL.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her around in a long time.
I
On there.
had a friend when I was in Washington who I think was either like just kind of dating or like was partners with her. And
Yeah, I
then
think
we all
that
went to
they're-
like this
they're
meetup
in
of a bunch of
Washington.
people from Mastodon in Washington, and she was there. And there was like this one dude who kept on talking about Cascadia and that bullshit, but like the rest
Oh.
of it was fine. But like yeah, I got Ann Knuckles stickers. I also got some funny Firefox stickers, like Firefox with like the Doge face on the fox instead.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, well, gee, I actually haven't seen that person posting in a long time. Maybe they moved accounts or something, and I didn't keep up. That happens a lot on there, as people will move accounts, and then if you weren't keeping up, then you
Yeah.
just don't know. Because you can like bring over your followers, but sometimes people
Yeah.
don't, or sometimes it doesn't work on the instance they're moving to, or things like that. So.
That's partly why I left, just because like the server that I was on kind of imploded, and then
Oh yeah, that happens
there was, like-
sometimes.
there was like a copycat server, but there was also other servers that I'd been given access to in the meantime, and then I was just like, I don't know where to go anymore, and I kind of hate it. So
Oh my god, I just walked up to this horse robot, and it didn't notice me, and now I just overrode it. Just walked right up. I wasn't even sneaking or anything.
yeah, if you use like the stealth armors, that will happen a lot. That's why they're really useful, but
Yeah, it's
even without
kind
them,
of-
you can kind of just
The kind of drama that happens on there is just sometimes an instance will be decided that this is the bad instance now, and then everybody will block that instance, and then you just have no contact with anybody anymore, and unless you figure out that that was going on.
This
and you move.
was less that and more like this. The server owner was like, actually, non-binary people are just like cis people who are afraid, or like something like that. Not cis people,
Oh.
but like binary people who are too afraid, or something.
Yeah, no, that
like
wouldn't happen on mine
Like,
because those are
No.
because like the people who are running it are binary, so
yeah.
I'm glad I won't have to worry about that here.
Sasha.
The one that I'm on has been very stable for time though, so
That's good.
and I like know the people who run it as well, which is good.
Yeah.
It is a bit funny though because it's mostly like furry related, and I am not.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't care. Nobody minds me being there.
I mean, honestly, a lot of furries are some of the most chill people anyway.
Yeah. I think it's just nice, and it's also a nice purple color.
There are the
Which
handholds. That needs
looks
something
different from like
deeper.
typical
You get that
social
sounds?
media things.
No?
So I appreciate
Mhm.
that.
What name we got there?
Oh my god, Ash, that's amazing.
They've apparently done an interesting
Alright,
thing
what
to get rid of like
That's what.
spam
Take a seat at the campfire
and
rest.
like
When night falls, we'll talk.
And they still have a fire
like
to
people
feed company.
like
How nice of you to finally
joining
drop by.
like or like spam and trolls
Our purpose
people
is not
joining
to
because
crash the
they've
focus network.
made it so that if you sign up you have to write in a reason why you're signing up,
Infiltrate the Eclipse's main
Yeah.
base.
and apparently that
What?
really helps.
That's right. Fortunately
Well,
for you,
yeah,
I
that
brought
makes
you around
sense.
to the back way. It's right through that crevice. Once you reach the base, you'll see the objective. A derelict tallneck that's been extensively modified. Climb the tallneck.
It's also really hard to keep up with the drama stuff that happens on there sometimes because I've seen people talk about there's a problem where something will happen and then nobody will talk about it, they'll only speak of it vaguely.
I've never been part of anything.
Oh, they'll only subtweet
I
it.
serve my
Yeah,
own interests
and then
always.
apparently that's really annoying.
But
Sorry,
it is the case
subtweet it.
that
Yeah,
How about that?
I assisted the Eclipse before I sensed the threat they might become. It was a mistake that I'm doing what I can to correct.
What sort of assistance did you give them?
That seems like a pretty legit reason for wanting to join a corgi group.
We have more important things to do than ask questions.
Ash says I'm an honorary furry. How
Yeah,
does that
I don't
work?
see why not. I don't know. I feel like that's the case with like every queer person who doesn't explicitly like say they're not a furry.
Connected machines. Patrol.
I guess no.
Say, cause
Just because
hang
like
around
I don't know,
with people
because
who
like
are furries
because
all
like
the time.
furries are like the most like trans fandom, right? Like the whole like idea in general is generally pretty queer. So
The back way.
That's why people say that like people being like staunchly against furries is just sort of thinly veiled. Like
Yeah.
just being against. Yeah.
yeah, I mean I'd agree with that. The fuck
But yeah,
you
I
climbing up?
I could already barely take tweet seriously as a word for posts, and so
Yeah, and then
toot is so much worse. Oh.
Did I not climb the thing? Oh, I guess I didn't.
On the one that I'm on, they use their own word. Like the button says "boop" on it
Oh
instead of
yeah,
toot.
that was the same case with Witches.town, which is the one that exploded.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. That was
Yeah.
like fairly early on when I was there.
Yep.
I don't really even know what happened because again, people don't say anything. They just sort of vaguely allude to things. Now there's a weird one going on where I'm like, sort of like, there's like this big fight. I don't know if it's still going, but where like one side is accusing the other of being like really racist and things, and they point to this like article that they wrote, which I then read, and I was sort of confused why that was what they took from it, and it was sort of like talking about like problems they had with like harassment and things on the site, or not the site, but like all of the instances as a whole, and like I'm in with people on, like I know people on both sides of this, and like they all have seemed like reasonable people, but now they're sort of like against each other, and I don't know, it's weird. This feels like this stuff happens all over the internet all the time, and it's not really unique to this place.
Let me do it.
Okay. And it's like, I don't know. It's Sarah Zed has a new video out right now that is kind of it's talking about shipping war stuff in particular, but it's really just a microcosm of all these types of things. There was this really good thread that she showed in the video that was about how everybody, though, how on the internet, there's this sort of, it's sort of developed that everybody puts people into, like, two different boxes. They're either, well, in this case it was talking about problematic versus unproblematic, and people have become trained to put people into those boxes like as quickly as possible, like as efficiently as possible, because there's so many posts from so many different people every day that like you can't spend the time to think thoroughly about each individual person. So they just make it as simple as possible. Either you are bad and irredeemable, or you are fine, and like then they make these judgments as quickly as possible. And they said that leads to these seemingly really weird conclusions that you'll see people make. And it's just because they're making snap decisions about how they think these people are morally speaking.
I'll tuck that away.
And that seems to be exactly the kind of stuff that I see on Mastodon with stuff like this. It's like there's only, because like people get mad if you stay neutral as well, because both of the sides then will then decide that you are from the other side. And it's like, I don't know. They said that basically they're just talking about how it just erases all nuance from very complicated problems sometimes. It's like you
it's
must
true
be.
that sometimes like things are like nuance isn't as like
Yeah, but it's like
often used as a cover, but like yeah, there is like some
yeah, especially the stuff that. And in that particular video, of course, the other thing was just that it's like I couldn't believe the way people take shipping and fandom stuff so seriously and make it into big moral
Wait, which video
problems.
was this?
It's by Sarah Zed.
Yeah, I wanted
Her
to
most
watch
recent
this
one.
Explosions in the distance.
Yeah, it was really
Okay.
good. I haven't quite finished it yet, but
Doesn't concern you.
I was hearing things about it. It sounded interesting.
she was talking about how this. So people have what are called do not interact lists.
Yeah.
And apparently one of the things people will list as do not interact if you are into quote-unquote irredeemable media. And then they will list the media that they consider irredeemable.
Media really sounds like a Republican thing.
Yeah, and you know what things they will list as irredeemable? She said you'll see people listing Steven Universe and Homestuck and She-Ra and like like cartoons aimed at like just when you think about it for more than a few minutes, it's like even if there are some issues in them or things that you can be critical of, to then say it is completely irredeemable and if you are into it you are a bad person who should not ever speak to me.
Yeah. We can't
like,
recognize something's false and examine it.
Like Steven Universe is a colorful kids cartoon. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or did you just want to
It is.
They said it really says a lot about these people that there are children's cartoons that are somehow so morally repugnant that they are irredeemable and people who like them are terrible people. And it's like sure there may be things to criticize about them, sure they might be the greatest thing ever, but it's like yeah, exactly. They said they have. She was talking about how like if you watch, they've come to this weird conclusion that if you watch something, then you endorse that thing and everything wrong with it. And it's like, well, you can watch something and then be critical of it, or even be critical
also,
of
you
it
never
and enjoy
really know
certain parts
going
of
into
it.
things.
Yeah, it's like everything has become so reductive. Is basically what she was talking about, and like there's little room for conversation with these people.
I loved some of the stuff that Homestuck did, but Homestuck also was like written by a dude who, you know, has done some questionable things and also has some questionable content in it, and like that, not really a good idea. But like we have to be able to talk about it.
See the legs of a Tallneck down there, but no Tallneck.
Damn. The transmitter's been moved.
It's like you even understand people who have problems with something and then won't interact with it or won't watch it or anything. It's like that's perfectly valid. You know, like,
You got exactly one shot at this.
and it's perfectly valid to voice the reasons why you are not interested in it because of the things in it. But it's like, to then make a moral judgment on everybody else who has ever liked or watched that thing, to then say that they are terrible people,
Troopers?
Avoid them. or
seems a
keep
bit
them at your choice.
extreme.
The blasting should cover any noise you make. Find the tall neck and destroy
Yeah.
And yeah, and shipping wars are just, like, I was sort of unaware of them, or the extent of how ridiculous they were until I watched this video. Like, I don't understand. And like, some of it is kids, but not all of it. A lot of it is adults. And in fact, kids and adults sometimes get into fights over these things. It's like, yeah, they make it into such a moral thing. She was talking about how there's like this game of telephone that happens, because she made some post talking about some little thing in this. She made like a small thread. And then it escalated to the point where then people accuse her of supporting murdering children.
Yeah, I think Ash, the
just,
line
like-
with there too.
It's...
I think a thing there too, Ash, is like it focuses, like, these things tend to focus less on like, oh, you promote or create content for that series, and more that you cannot discuss it but like merely the act of consumption and letting people know that you
Yeah.
did consume it
Yeah.
is what causes the issue.
That's exactly what she was talking about. She said people make it that consuming media is something with moral consequences.
Like, if I went to go watch a thing that I knew was bad, I'm going in with that fact pre on it, and I might just be seeing the extent of it, or just out of curiosity, and that is not
I
inherently.
definitely recommend going when watching her video, because she talks about all this stuff really well. It's called, like, I forget the exact title, but it's the one about pro shippers versus antis.
Looks like I'm clear.
Yeah. I'm sure if
I
I
super
just go
recommend
find
that to everybody. Yeah, I was just mentioning it for everybody else here.
And I feel like okay, there is a difference about, like, you don't want to bring attention to things that are bad, but there is a way to do that in ways that are, like, in spaces that are designed to discuss the ways those are bad, and like are explicitly there to state that. I feel like there's discussions
the
that are
problem
okay
is
to have
that
there.
neither of these supposed groups have room for that, because one believes that, like you mentioned, any sort of acknowledgement or speaking of it at all, other than to just completely, like, disavow it and say that it's terrible and irredeemable, is bad. And then the other one believes that any form of criticism of media is bad, and media should not be, like, then you are a bad person for,
Than the others.
then you're censoring.
Not letting
You're-
artists do what they want.
They
And it's
believe
like, no, the artists went and did their thing.
And they believe that there's no moral consequences of media at all, and it never has any impact on real life.
You'll have to find another
And so
way.
neither of those groups can discuss any of this. Just from two different ways.
What's the TCC fandom? What's TCC? Yeah, Hussey doesn't seem to be like a great person.
And basically
fan.
Sarah Zed was just like, there's nuance to these things. There are certain parts of them
Oh,
that
true crime
very good,
community.
and
Oh,
it's like-
God.
there's
True
like,
crime community, is
yeah.
that like a specific series, or is that like just the genre? Because the genre itself seems wild in like a bad way.
I watch a fair number of videos about murder cases, which I think is true crime. But like, I think there's like, the stuff that I watch is very non-sensationalist, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's just sort of interesting stuff to listen to me.
Yeah. I mean, I used to watch like some true crime shows in the background on Netflix, and then I got really bored of them because they were all the same. Like, they just had the same formulas, basically.
Oh yes, yeah. So Ash is not talking about just the existence of true crime documentaries. He's talking
Okay.
about people who are, how there's fandoms for serial killers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which briefly got mentioned by Sarah said in this video, by the way. That's a whole other rabbit hole, though.
Like, I feel like it's one thing if it's just like a fictional thing, but if it's
No,
real,
it's
that's
real,
kinda fucked.
real
Yeah,
serial,
I know.
serial killers. It's really weird.
Is there fighting?
That
up ahead?
stuff, yeah, like, it's one thing to be interested in true crime stuff, which, like, I feel like it's fairly natural
Oh, good. Another
to
secret.
Yeah.
have an interest in that, but to then
Especially when like
idolize
it becomes like
the people is really weird.
yeah. Especially when any of this becomes like kind of like a topic that's talked about places, like more people are going to be
On the stuff that I watch,
interested in knowing what it's about.
on the stuff that I watch, people more become fans of the personalities of the people who are like presenting the videos, which I think is fine. That's pretty normal.
Oh my god, yeah, that's really a thing, I guess, Ash. That's wow.
Yeah, but like, and that's probably leads to actual harm as well, Ash, because there are people who do these things who then cite the
then we'll,
Columbine as the reason they did it and stuff like that. So it's like,
and then also like that leads to repetition, right?
exactly. That's what I mean exactly. And a lot of that stuff seems to be from teenagers as well, for whatever reason. I mean, I guess that makes it feel less terrible, because, like, at least it's not adults doing. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's adults in there too, and that would be extra concerning.
What is this place?
Because when it's teenagers, it's like, well, maybe they just sort of don't really know why this is bad yet. They're not really thinking that much through it. But yeah, I can't really give that excuse if it's adults into it. I was like, there's not a lot of stuff, like, there's not a lot of internet stuff that really, like, shocks me, but when I first learned about that this was a thing, I was like, what? It was like, that honestly was, like, disturbing that this was a thing. Ash says, I feel like in today's day and age, American teenagers should know that it's bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have like education systems that kind of don't.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say
I don't know,
that
it
would
feels
be
like-
a
it feels
failing
like
of the education system.
Similar in the fact that like, I mean, it's partially on people's parents too, I guess, in some ways, but like it's similar in the fact that like people grow up so like sheltered from like racism and stuff, and like not sheltered from the acts of it, but sheltered from the knowledge of it, and like it feels in the same vein, kind of.
Yeah, and the knowledge of you may be like being like subconsciously indoctrinated into it.
That there's still shit that happens today, and you should be careful and also respect the other people that aren't you.
Sure is a lot of blasting up there. Sounds busy.
Busy enough not to notice you, let's hope.
I see it. They've built some kind of structure around it.
Climate. The sooner this is done, the better.
I think we've also not figured out very well yet how to have like supervision of what kids are doing on the internet, because it's like without being like, you have to balance like not being invasive with also not letting kids get into things like this.
I see the module.
Good. Now be quick.
This is Hades?
Aloy, this is not the time.
It's a metal devil.
Open the module's casing, now. Aloy, do as I say or all is lost.
I think I've seen people say things about like you kind of just have to like make sure you talk with them about what they're doing, you know? Not like keep them out of it completely or like spy on them, but just, you know,
It is a
make sure
tricky
that they'll
issue.
talk with you, you know?
Yeah, I think it's mostly just about being honest and
Exactly.
at least mostly hands-free. Like, I don't know. I feel like you should be able to trust each other, but it can be hard, I guess.
Yeah. I see. Ash is talking about a system that this person made that only sends information about what they're doing on the internet if it, like, sees big red flags for certain things, for certain harmful topics. Seems like a good compromise.
Keep moving.
Are you kidding me?
I have to run! There's a chase sequence in this game
you
now?
think? What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap?
What do you think I'm doing? Taking a nap, she said? She gets really sassy sometimes.
I mean, I think there's nothing inherently wrong with that, Ash. I think it's just like, no matter the first thing of any of these, program or not, is just making sure you have a system of trust and like between both parties. And then like after that, like you can do it either way, I think, and it could turn out well.
Because you know, there's the thing I mentioned where it's you should just be like talking with them about the stuff on there, and it's a good way to make sure that you talk to them about things if they like, so that you know that they're running into these things. And you should discuss it.
Yeah, and like that way they learn about things potentially from a source who can give them like better information.
I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I keep dying. Oh, hi Chroma.
Hello, Chroma. You have a confession, Sasha? Hi, Chroma.
Oh yeah, another thing from the Sarah Z video was just that there's people who, well I've been, this was very topical because I've been seeing this with that one new game, I think it's called Boyfriend Dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Where there's like, quote unquote problematic stuff in it, but it's depiction of the things happening, it's not like...
Yeah. That's
like it's,
I don't know what the things are, I guess, so I can't really comment.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. It's just sort of like trauma related things. And there's people who believe that those things just should not be depicted because depicting them is an endorsement of them. It's like, well, people in real life go through those things, and
that is never helpful.
Yeah, and Sarah Zed was talking about that a bit with some other things, and that's apparently been a problem for a long time. Where people believe that if, like, they will just insert, like, they'll say this media is bad because insert list of bad things that happen in it. And it's like... She was like, imagine if people did that for, like, the Saw series.
Imagine if people did that for fucking racism in textbooks. Like, then you just get Texas again.
Yeah, you think? What do you think I'm doing?
Oh yeah, I mean, I did that too a lot of the time, Sasha.
Yeah, I signed up for those things like that too as a kid.
Brave trail.
Really wanted to play Club Penguin, okay?
Are you kidding me?
Also, like,
Almost out of it.
okay, you mentioned the Saw movies, so now I'm gonna hit you with my take about the Saw movies. They're really silly. The gore is kind of unnecessary. I think it would be amazing if they just went like the complete parody route and just stopped with the gore stuff.
I know.
Like at this point, they're all the same.
I know about the Saw series because I had a friend who was into it in middle school.
Yeah, like I think after the first one, I had someone else mentioned this idea at one point, and I think they were right. If after the first one they just stopped going the gore route and started going like the just Jigsaw takes this to the next level route, because it does get silly at a lot of times in those movies, but then you have the like off-putting bits of like the other shit, And it's just like, without that, it could be just one of the best comedy series, I bet you.
Yeah, because it did sound pretty ridiculous from I remember my friend telling me about it in middle
Oh yeah,
school.
I recently was curious, so I went ahead and I watched through them, and then like I told Biss about it, and it's just silly. There's a Twitter account that does like posts like that, like silly posts from Jigsaw or whatever.
Or it was like, imagine if people just considered like murder like being depicted as, because like, well, that's really bad, right? It's like, what is like, is every show where somebody dies now irredeemable?
See, you're right, Chroma, but that's not Jigsaw you're talking about. That's Billy the Puppet.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'm running. There's too many enemies.
We're eclipsed across the ravine.
Bridge in sight.
That's the way out.
I know.
This is wild.
So Jigsaw is an old white dude who's a cancer patient and has terminal cancer. And he just looks like some old white dude with like kind of an intense face.
He has Terminal 7.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I can't get mad. I'm not mad, Chroma. But like the thing that each movie does, well, like the first few is like every movie will be like, actually, Jigsaw had this other accomplice that also did these things ahead of time to plan for this, and then that stuff won't be in like the previous movies, but like then in the next movie they'll like try and force it in, and they do that with like 3 accomplices. It's just kind of all over the place.
But yeah, I think that was like the biggest example of sort of the reductiveness of a lot of these things, was just listing the bad things that happen to the characters and listing those as reasons why you shouldn't watch it.
You knew Hades
It's
was
like-
there and you sent me to him?
It's so reductive.
I won't deny I risked your life.
Like depictions of trauma can absolutely be only there to fucking like
With the focus network down, we can both get
as
to
a
the
show, and like that is not usually a good thing. But
I'm past trusting you with
I feel
secrets.
like you can't just apply that blanketly to every media. Like
Also,
some
the-
media does do that for
rising
nothing,
up.
but
Also, I mentioned that there's these two groups on these things, right?
Crumbles like sand.
And
Poor foundation
I saw somebody mentioning that neither of them are satisfied by content warnings,
is a solid bedrock upon which you and I
because there is one of those at the beginning of that game I mentioned, and
both need answers, Aloy.
one of the sides says that you should never have those because you're censoring your work or whatever, and then the other one just doesn't care that it's there and still hates it because the stuff is in it at all.
yeah, that's good, Sasha. Also,
Or-
Bree, is that a real quote from Jigsaw? Because I feel like that's actually a thing he legit says in the movies. I am not kidding. He'll be like, I've never killed anyone. Their fear or their like lack of a survival instinct caused them
Yeah,
to
this-
fail my silly tests that I proposed to them, and then they killed themselves.
Ash,
Or
that's,
something like
that's,
that. Like,
that's another thing I've seen brought up, Ash, is that people will be more forgiving of things that were not made by marginalized people, but then the things that are made by them, they are like way more critical of. It's like, you can't have it both ways.
I think the twist in the first Jigsaw movie is actually quite good, but
What was it?
after that it just starts getting silly.
I have seen that mentioned too, Chroma, but the conversations that people were having about it didn't even seem to care about. Like, that wasn't even what they were talking about. Like one side didn't think it should have been there at all, and the other side, like, they didn't think it should have. They didn't think the stuff should have been in it. So the content warning didn't matter. Yeah, you're exactly right, Ash. That's basically it. So where am I going? Keep doing this for a bit more. Probably gonna end it pretty soon, so I have time for Half-Life. episode 1. But yeah, somebody was mentioning that they don't. There's people who don't like that the things are explicitly mentioned in the content warning as well, as if they want content warnings for content warnings now. It's like, that's all. It's a lot. Yeah. Once again, super recommend that video.
Keep that for
Sorry,
later.
first one.
You need to spoiler the content warning too? I mean, I feel like there's not inherently a problem with being like CW and then spoilers for people who want to avoid that, but like, you don't need to. It's fine. They're vague enough.
Yeah. It's just there's some wild stuff out there. Chroma says you could have a general content warning with additional detail available.
That's also
That feels
true.
like a
But like
compromise.
these do require additional effort, and I feel like people don't have to go to that additional effort. Just try and make content warnings available. That's like the minimum you can do.
Maybe I shouldn't walk all the way here, I'm just realizing. I can skip a little bit of the distance.
Yeah. Like I will be one that like personally I don't think that I have any CWs that I really need to worry about, so I'm okay not seeing them, but like it's not about me there. Like people should at the very least have the opportunity to see those or be presented with the opportunity to see those right away.
There was one wild example that Sarah Zed gave about this type of thing where, so you know the game Dream Daddy?
Yeah.
People were claiming that it was homophobic because of a scrapped ending that was found in the files. I don't even remember what the scrapped ending was.
Oh, there was a scrapped ending in the files that was apparently homophobic. That's the argument.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even that. I don't remember. Like, it was some unrelated thing, and then people had problems with it, and that made the whole game was bad.
That's amazing.
Because of something that didn't even end up in the game. Yeah, exactly, Bree.
Yeah, it was scrapped. I wonder if there's a reason it might have been scrapped. If it was actually homophobic, which probably isn't the case.
Yeah.
That might be the reason.
Oh yeah, it had an evil secret ending. Ash knew what it was being talked about.
Wait, the Christian character had an evil secret ending? What does that mean? Like, evil in what way? I'm curious now. I got
They felt like it was saying gay Christians can't exist. But they weren't saying that because it's not actually part of the game. It's like what the ESRB. It's like what the ESRB did with the hot coffee thing with Grand Theft Auto.
Oh god.
Where it was in the files, so they still got counted. ESRB rating.
Murder, seducer type stuff. Oh. Killing people in a murder dungeon is part of a weird ritual. Oh.
So now we're judging them for things that they took out of the game.
I feel like if they had decided to include it, that's up to them, and that's fine, because it's not, I don't know, I mean, people do that, like, they don't really, like, go to that level of detail, but, you know, Christians do some awful things to this day, right? And it can feel representative.
Oh, I see. Ash says it was just that they were mad because he was the only religious character and had an evil route.
Oh.
That was the extent of it.
But like, he still had the good route.
Yeah, and the evil route didn't actually happen.
Oh,
They scrapped it.
it's really a thing that you could do, I guess.
Thanks for the history lesson.
Oh, this is a new place.
We will learn much from this Aloy.
I know I haven't been talking very much about the game today, but the game today has been kind of a backdrop for just conversation.
Yeah, we've been having like important discussions, like well, the discussions about important subjects.
Yes.
So it kind of has to
He's a
be
fighter, but the
lesser, I
fever on her
think.
won't lift. It only burns hotter.
Ash says ridiculous evil routes in dating sims typically exist.
My sister.
Isn't there anyone
Yeah.
at Sunfall who can help?
We're refugees.
That makes sense.
We know
I could definitely
our
see that being the
place.
case.
And there's only one healer in the territory. He's
That's sort of now I'm being reminded of people who
his soul is in
I've seen
shadow.
people say that if you do the genocide route in Undertale, you're a bad person, or if you do anything other than the pacifist route, you're a bad
He's
person.
very clever, but he has little.
Oh, is
care
this
for
like an
people.
Mm-hmm.
Undertale thing?
Yeah,
Perhaps the desert scoured it all
Oh
away.
god.
Perhaps.
yeah.
he was
I've seen
always
people
like
say that if you kill characters in
way,
Undertale, you are a bad
I know he
person.
won't help us.
Well, I'll
Both
see about
routes are
that.
intended to be
find
experienced,
him.
technically.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have to. That doesn't mean you should. It just means that they're both there for people.
Another border
Yeah,
battle.
we're basically saying it reflects poorly on you morally if you do that.
I'll keep
Yeah, yeah. If I do the genocide route in Undertale, I want to spend hours and hours just grinding out every single monster in the area. I actually started down it and then I didn't because I fucked it up after Snowden, and I couldn't undo that mistake. So
I'm
I just never
surprised
went
it
back
hasn't
and
gotten
did
to
it.
the point where people are like, or maybe it has, but I haven't seen it. I'm surprised people aren't at the point where they're mad at Toby Fox for even making those runs of the game.
You know, that is a weird like thing that I don't think I've seen, but it is like the logical conclusion.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I've seen things like that with other stuff, like we were just discussing with the Dream Daddy thing.
Yeah.
People mad at the developers for putting that in, even though they got rid of it. But yeah,
By the sun, the exile has been hard on the old timers. I heard another one passed in the night.
I mean, I guess it's good that I haven't seen that because I don't think that should be a thing. But
Yeah. But it does feel like something you'd expect since people are already like kind of halfway down that path.
mhm.
Take a look at these wares.
Take a look at these wares.
That fake, my friend.
I can't even. This isn't a real shop. I guess I can't. All I can do is look. So I guess that's what I'll do. Like he knows I can't buy it, so he's like, "Come take a look."
These aren't goods, they're necessities.
These aren't goods.
Did
They're
you do the tall neck
necessities.
here?
Before you're on the road.
Not yet. Maybe I should do that. Maybe we'll end off the stream with that then.
Son.
Absolutely, Ash.
And Shadow. I didn't think that woman was old enough to catch her death and chill.
I mean, I played a game just this week where there's a route where, I mean, your main character can murder people and then lose the faith of like the other character, and then become abandoned by them, and then fall into a cult because of that. And like, is that now bad?
Well, yeah.
It was a very sweet little game. Other than that,
There's so
it's
many
called
things.
Fostering Apocalypse. It's about finding a little demon.
There's so many things in that video that I keep remembering, and one of them was that people have conflated liking and disliking things with it always having to be for moral reasons.
Yeah.
Like, she said sometimes she'll mention that she doesn't like some music artist or something like that, or an actor, and then people will start messaging her being like, "Oh no, what did they do? Like, what did they do? Like,
Oh.
like why are they bad now?" And it's like,
That's like me saying like I really don't like Nintendo that much, and then people are like, "Shit, are you canceling it, all of them?"
yeah, and she's always like, "Well,
What did Mario do?
they didn't do anything. I just don't care for them." Like, you know.
Yeah.
He said that's kind of dangerous, the way that people think that She said it leads to people coming up with some moral reason for disliking a thing. And it's just, it's all sort of not good.
They're scanning for me.
It's a game where you kill, so that's bad, but we can't unpack the shit around fucking Call of Duty and other American propaganda
Yeah,
that
it's
where you
like-
kill people.
Like, where's the outrage for that stuff? You know, like...
This
Well,
is
that's
true.
not stuff that
Gamers,
these people,
gamers
like,
drive
look at.
that for graphics, but they don't. Gamers tend to not do like this thing. Well, at least they don't. They don't do it in the same ways. I feel like.
No, they get upset at, you know, the opposite.
Yeah.
They get upset at easy modes.
I think I can.
Yeah. I like the solution that someone on Twitter proposed a while back, which is like, well, what if instead of having easy modes calling you a baby, we have hard modes calling you like a person desperate for some fucking like validation.
That's kind of what
Which I mean isn't.
That's kind of what I did in Gray
Yeah.
Area, where I listed the hard mode as for people who feel the need to prove themselves.
Yeah. Like.
If you feel like you've got something to prove, then play this mode. I don't think I was as rude about it as I could have been.
There
but-
is nothing wrong with easy modes. I think there might be some more discussion to be had around like expecting like smaller developers to always have them though, depending on like how much work that would take, etc. But other than that, like
People
they should be a
seem
thing
to-
that is accounted for in the majority of games.
People just seem to kind of hate the idea that if they had to put in this much work, this much effort to do this thing, then everybody else should, because if
But
they
like
don't,
they didn't
it
have
invalidates
to. They didn't have to do
the
it.
effort they put in.
It does, yeah. Like it's the same thing as like well, we can't pay back student loans. We can't cancel them because
It would be
then all the
unfair to
people who already
who
paid off
did.
their loans are getting cheated.
How about you refund all of them too?
Yeah, it's such a weird concept.
I see this, the main place I see this is with Pokemon, where people don't want it to be easier to set up a team to be competitive, because they had to put so much work into doing it, and like, they feel cheated if somebody else has a competitive team and they didn't put in thousands of hours of work into it.
Honestly, same, Sasha. Like, I think hard modes are fun to challenge yourself. Also, I do like, I don't know, it's nice to just experience them so you know in what ways they are harder. And also, like, I don't know, there's some camaraderie that you can form there with people who, like, also had to deal with, like, grueling shit in games. But, like, at the end of the day, you are the one subjecting yourself to that. And you can't hold other people to, like,
I saw
this
somebody put it
weird
very
standard.
very succinctly, which was just people seem to hate it when people play games a different way than they played it.
Yeah.
That's the most succinct way to put it, I think.
That's a good way of putting it.
Reminds me of who I am. No matter what happens, we are Karja. We will endure.
Or when people
Like,
get
I
something
think
different out of
here-
games
so,
than
like,
they got out of it. You know?
This is my current thoughts of like regarding like say like a Dark Souls game, right? Dark Souls, I think like a company like that should be budgeting time and money for implementation of an easy mode, because they are big enough to where the point where they can do that.
Okay, this
And
shadow doesn't
honestly,
make any sense.
people would stand to like benefit from that.
Wait, no, yes it does. It's just that she's floating.
But I don't know.
Also, Chroma, I definitely agree, because like there's that online thing, I forget what it's called, Pokemon Battle, whatever it is, that people made, and you can just type in the team that you want, and then you have it, and you can just go fight people, and it's like, and then
Chroma,
it's just,
you are 100% correct.
it's just all down, like it should just all be down to the strategy, right? Like you can come up with your strategy well in advance and like know exactly what you want to do, and then have to wait like hundreds of hours to perfectly breed the Pokemon just to try out your strategy, and it's like, why should we have to do that? Like, why? And why would you
Yeah.
defend that as the way you have to do that? It's like, it should
This
just
is the
be
same thing as,
figuring
like-
out your strategy and then just doing it. Like that's what
Yeah.
you would do in like basically any other game.
This is the same thing as competitive card games, as anything like that. Because competitive card games are like, you can't play with like fake cards. But if you can't, that means you have to buy those cards, whether from resellers or by just getting them through the card game itself. Like, you shouldn't have to do that because
Yeah, I mean,
you're
it's
hurting
gonna
the
be
people who play
literally,
the
it's
game.
not gonna be any different. Just making
I mean,
it
it will
pay
be
to
different
win.
because you'll miss out on so many 8 players who would maybe be able to shape the game or improve it or improve the community around the game.
Yeah.
But you can't. But you won't have them because it just can't afford some pieces of cardboard.
Chroma says, yes, Chroma posted crying Miyamoto and says, when the other player hasn't hatched 100 eggs for perfect IVs for each of their Pokemon.
Yeah, simply purchase all the good cards, Bree. You're right. Yes.
I think it's even, like, the Pokemon at least, it's like, okay, you just buy the game, and then, you know, you're capable of doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's worse if you, like, if you had to, like, pay individually for it, like you do with a card game.
Yeah.
That's, like, so much worse.
And, like, also, I feel like if you want people like in Pokemon, if you want your game to be the healthiest it can possibly be, then you should just give tournament contenders like free or temporarily free versions of the game or something like that, you know? Like, because if you make it as accessible as possible, then the game has the most room in it to have that healthy community.
Yeah. Oh no. Horizon for today. I had fun as usual.
Oh yeah, we're done.
Yeah, this has been about 2 hours, 22 minutes.
A lot of it was talking, so I
Yeah.
just forgot the time.
This was a conversation stream. Yeah, I enjoyed that too. Sorry for anybody who watches these to pay attention to the game more than just hanging out, but this type of game is easy to just hang out on top of, basically. Just sort of idly play it, and well, like, especially at this point where I've gotten really used to the game, it's really easy to kind of just turn my brain off and play it.
Unless there's like a super interesting thing happening or something like that, like there's totally like no reason not to.
I did comment on a few things that were happening during it.
Yeah,
this was a nice stream. I'm going to stream off for a bit and a small bit of setup. Half-Life. But yes, also, look, I've got music for the Beanbug now. I should do a podcast.
Isn't this a podcast?
I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't know what I would do really differently than when I stream, other than there's just not...
Like, I guess the podcast is you just have, like, space for guests and space where you say, hey, we're going to talk about this topic right now.
Also, everybody, I gotta remind everybody, if you want this Beanbug as an emote on the channel, we gotta get some more subscribers. I've got 16 out of 25 sub points. Where's the next emote?
Oh!
Being
Athena's
rated.
rating you. Hello, Athena and everyone
Although,
else.
yeah, we're just ending, although I am going to stream another game in a minute, but the stream will be turned off for a minute.
I mean, I'm sure that won't matter too much.
Yeah, I'm about to be right back for a minute.
And honestly, like, I get raids all the time and my streams are about to end sometimes, from like a lot of time
I
at
did
least.
really good on Sunday, my stream. I got a raid during my Pokemon stream, and I got one when I was streaming Rayman 2 with Biss, and it was with 28 people.
Oh wow,
So,
that's
yeah,
great.
Yeah, that was my most viewers I ever had at once. It's a new record. I had 32.
I don't really like look at metrics a ton right now, but I did notice that for whatever reason, my Sonic Adventure stream from this week has like had the most views out of anything on my Twitch.
I'm so sorry
channel.
I missed it. I was at the zoo.
No, you don't gotta be sorry, Lena. It's
I
totally
wanted to
fine.
be
Just watch
there.
the VOD. The VOD's on YouTube.
I'll definitely be there next time you stream it. For sure. Welcome to Beanbug.
I mean, Elena will be back in a few minutes,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna
So,
be
like,
right back.
Yeah.
But we must say goodbye to Arrow.
Goodbye, everyone. It was grand.
Goodbye, Arrow. Thanks for hanging out today. It was fun.
See y'all around.
Bye. Yeah, I'm going to turn the stream off for just a minute, and I will be back with Half-Life 2 Episode 1.